I'm Craig.
Hi, I'm Jake.
And you're watching Medium Crush. Today's episode, Bond. James Bond.
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 Bond. Bond.
Bond.
Bond.
James Bond.
So even though Spectre just came out in theaters, we're going to talk about our earlier favorite James Bond movies. Jake and I were talking about how I'm more of a Brosnan era fan, and he's a Daniel Craig fan. Even though we both love Sean Connery equally. But what's your favorite Daniel Craig James Bond?
I would say Skyfall is my favorite. Just because it's very... it's more of an emotional James Bond movie. It's not your conventional follow the James Bond formula. And what I love about Skyfall is that it has like nods to the originals. Skyfall is directed by Sam Mendes, and this is his first James Bond film. He also directs the new film Spectre that just came out.
Would you say Spectre is also kind of an emotional ride for James Bond?
The thing about the thing about the Daniel Craig films is that they're like consecutive. Like you have to see them all in order. Well, you don't have to.
Yeah.
But they're all a consecutive story. Like Casino Royale flows into the next movie. Casino Royale spills over into Quantum of Solace, and Skyfall spills over into, flows over into Spectre. And
is that the first time they've done that in James Bond?
I'm not too sure.
I think there's Sean Connery, Dr. No. He was like a villain in one of the previous ones also. Because he kills his wife, right? Isn't that how the story goes? Dr. No kills the only time James Bond's ever been married, kills his wife, and then the movie after, James Bond kills the murderer.
Which is ironic because in Casino Royale, his only, the only person he really loves gets killed.
Oh, yeah.
And then that sets him on his path to being a super assassin.
Super assassin, super playboy.
Yeah.
No longer falls in love.
Although what I like about the Craig movies is that they don't really focus too much on the on James Bond's love interests. Like, he's more of an action hero now because Daniel Craig just has that persona. Like, he kind of just gets information out of them. And it's not like a love interest kind of thing.
Yeah. Now, Bond always has two Bond girls, right? Is that like the lure? The lure?
Yeah, there's like a
One's always
main one and then a secondary.
The secondary is always kind of bad in a way. Who was the Bond girl in Skyfall?
Moneypenny, or Eve, whatever.
Yeah.
The black lady.
Which they're making it out to seem like Daniel Craig might have something for Moneypenny, right?
Yeah.
When all the other James Bonds wasn't kind of...
And then there's, the secondary one is, like, one he meets in, like, a club or something.
And the villain of Skyfall?
It's actually played by the Oscar winner, Javier Bardem, who won his Oscar for, No Country for Old Men.
I thought that was one of the cooler villains, too. He has that cyanide or something. Something happened to his face. He pulled his teeth out and his face just kind of droops down.
Yeah. He actually, swallows a
cyanide pill.
Cyanide tablet.
But doesn't kill him, it just deforms him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I find interesting about all the James Bond villains, like they're deformed in like some way,
Mm-hmm.
or have something in their backstory that makes them like have some sort of psychosis.
Yeah.
Also, Skyfall has like one of the best openings.
Mm. What happens in that opening? He's on the train.
He's
right?
on the train. He
Yeah.
gets shot by Moneypenny because she can't get a clear shot at the other guy,
Mm-hmm.
and then falls in the water.
Skyfall is also the first movie that they kill off M.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, spoiler alert. So, final thought on Skyfall?
It's like, this is like one of my favorite James Bond movies. It's definitely one you should check out. It's like very atmospheric. It's very good cinematography.
My favorite James Bond movie is GoldenEye, which stars Pierce Brosnan, Sean Bean, one of my favorite actors.
That's the guy from Game of Thrones, right?
Yeah, infamous for dying in everything he does.
Yeah.
There's Femke Jensen. She plays Jean Grey in X-Men. And then, what's her name? Isabella Scorp something Russian. And there's another Russian bad guy. The reason why I love this movie is because it was the very first James Bond movie I've ever seen.
Really?
And it was in the 90s, and I watched it because I was really into the James Bond game. Because my brother bought it for the Nintendo 64, and I just thought it was so awesome, so I had to see the movie. And the movie was great.
Who directs this one?
Martin Campbell. Jake knows more about the directors than I do.
And interestingly enough, Martin Campbell actually directed Casino Royale, which
So it's kind of like they trust him with rebooting the series.
Yeah.
Because before the Pierce Brosnan James Bonds, James Bond didn't come out for years, at least 10 years, right? Remember
it didn't come out for a while.
Yeah, the last one was like in the 80s. It had I forget the actor's name.
I think it was Timothy Oliphant.
Yeah.
Or
right.
no, it wasn't Timothy Oliphant. It was Timothy Dalton. That's who it was.
Timothy Dalton.
Yeah.
GoldenEye. I really like Pierce Brosnan's James Bond. He wasn't too serious, unlike Daniel Craig, who's mainly all business.
Mm-hmm.
I also heard that Pierce Brosnan's James Bond was the most deadly, having the highest kill count of all the James Bonds.
Oh, really?
That might be because he was in the most James Bonds, though. Could be.
I've heard people say like he's the pretty boy James Bond.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very funny that was the last thing we said. The end.
No.
So, the plot of GoldenEye was that the Soviets ended up having this satellite weapon called the GoldenEye, which was a laser that could destroy anything.
Mm-hmm.
And he gets double-crossed by his partner, 006, Alec Trevelyan, or Trevelyan, however you want to say it, who was played by Sean Bean. And I'm pretty sure that was the only time James Bond's main villain was like his best friend.
Really?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say that it's like the same plot for Die Another Day as well? Because then they have that big like satellite Icarus thing.
Oh yeah.
That can redirect the sun to redirect the sun's power to melt the ice.
Mm-hmm. Was it Die Another Day, or is that?
I think it was Die Another Day because remember that Japanese guy?
Yeah, he had like the face thing, made him look like a British guy.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just talking about James Bond, really.
Yeah.
No direction here. In Daniel Craig universe, is their gadgets like really weird and crazy and science fiction-y, or is it more realistic?
It's kind of more realistic.
Yeah.
Because actually his first weapon in the Skyfall he gives him is a handgun, and it has like a thumbprint technology, so only he can shoot it.
Oh yeah. And that's kind of a real technology, isn't it? For some military use. So what's your favorite all-time James Bond gadget?
I like the car from Die Another Day.
Oh, the
it
one
has
the mirrors.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mine, probably going back with GoldenEye, is probably the laser watch.
Mhm.
Because I thought that was a really cool thing.
He also uses that in Die Another Day as well.
Yeah. In the Pierce Brosnan movies, the watch was a really important gadget. They referred to it in every one of the movies.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I also like the grenade pen.
Yeah, that's good.
There was the character Boris, where he's just clicking it and clicking it, and James Bond has to count every time he clicks. And I try to do it with him, but it's hard. And then James Bond hits it out of his hand and then blows up the area, which is really sweet.
Would you say Alec Trevelyan is your favorite James Bond villain?
Close second to the Bardone villain, just because he's so creepy. He's like an otherworldly villain.
Is that the guy that's bald?
No, it's Bardone, the one from Skyfall.
Oh.
Yeah.
So his name actually in Skyfall is Silva.
Silva?
Yeah.
That's cool. So. Another cool villain, though, would probably be Goldfinger, because they do that iconic scene where he kills one of the Bond girls and she's all in gold.
Mm.
Also, didn't they kind of did a nod to that when they killed a Bond girl and they put her all in oil or something like that? You know what I'm talking about? It was in Quantum of Solace. One of the girls were all in like oil. It was kind of like a nod to the Goldfinger movie.
I haven't seen Quantum of Solace probably since it came out on Blu-ray.
So my final thoughts on GoldenEye is it brings back a lot of nostalgia. It's fun. It's not real serious, and Femke is really good looking. So what are some of the iconic moments of James Bond? I can think of, he has the martini, shaken not stirred.
Mm-hmm.
2 Bond girls. Awesome car. Deformed villain.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
Well, the gadgets.
Yeah.
His sense of humor. Which Daniel Craig has some, that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's more like deadpan.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like a Roger Moore kind of sense of humor. Or even Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah. Pierce Brosnan is more like sarcastic.
Yeah.
Like there's the scene where Alec Trevelyan tells him, "What's wrong, Bond? No piffy comebacks?"
Of course, there's Q. You have to have Q in there.
Mm-hmm. And M. And Moneypenny. So his main allies.
Yeah.
Over-the-top intros.
Mm-hmm. And then there's the exotic locales.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure we always have to see James Bond shirtless.
Yeah.
I think that's the deal.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking about being the next James Bond.
Really?
Yeah, I'm gonna try out. I mean, I don't look anything like him. Well, maybe I do. Maybe the hair.
Yeah.
Bond, James Bond. I have to work on my British accent.
And I think you'll have to shave your beard.
Yeah, and my chest hair. I don't know. Sean Connery had quite a bit of chest hair. It'd be kind of funny to do a James Bond with, like, the Beatles British accent. Hey, I'm Bond, James Bond.
Yeah. Well, they kind of already did that with Austin Powers.
Oh, yeah.
That was kind of a spoof of the James Bond franchise.
Mm-hmm. This is the part of the show where we give you a Netflix pick. But Jake and I couldn't find anything on Netflix, so we're gonna skip it this time.
This has been your Media Crush for today. Please like, subscribe, and share this video on Facebook.
Yep. Media Crush. Yeah, baby.